Hi mathematicians, in this video I am going to show you how to graph not one but a system of inequalities. Remember that a system means that you have two or more inequalities. So we are going to graph two inequalities at once, and I'm going to start with the top one. So I'm going to write it over here. And because this equation features numbers that will make it very easy to do 6 divided by those coefficients, I am going to graph this inequality by intercepts. So first, to find my x-intercept, I'm going to do 6 divided by 2, because that is the coefficient in front of the x, and I get positive 3. So I'm going to put that 3 coordinate right over here on the x-axis, right here at 3. Next, to get my y-intercept, I'm going to take that 6, and I'm going to divide it by the coefficient in front of the y, which is 3. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So I am going to go over to my graph, and I'm going to graph that 2 on the y-axis right here. So step 1, find my x-intercept. Step 2, find my y-intercept. Step 3, I need to decide whether I'm going to do a solid line, so all one solid line, or whether I'm going to connect it with a dashed or dotted line. Both words mean the same thing. See, instead of having a solid line, I have dashes instead. And remember that a solid line is what we use if we have an inequality that features an equal to. And a dashed or dotted line has no equal to. So looking at that inequality symbol, we clearly have an equal to sign. So that means, so again, that equal to is right here underneath the inequality. So we are going to use a solid line to connect these coordinates. So I drew that solid line all the way across the graph through those two coordinates. And now I need to figure out whether I'm going to shade above the line or below the line. So if I look at my inequality symbol, I see it's right here. And remember, this is a less than inequality. And when we think of less than, we think of down. So that means that I am going to shade under my line. And I'm just going to make my lines go straight down like this underneath the line. So that is how we graph the top inequality, so the one at the top. Now I need to graph the one that is here in the second inequality. So this one is in slope-intercept form. It's not in standard form. Remember slope? So remember that slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. And the b corresponds to the y-intercept. So to graph this line, I am going to also, it looks like, that coordinate also goes right here at positive 2. So I'm going to put, just kind of reinforce that y-intercept is also right here at the 2. And then I need to look at my slope. And remember what the slope is it's the number in front of the x. And I am going to notice that this is a positive slope. So it's going to move in that direction. And my rise is 1, my run is 2. So if I make a slope triangle, rise over run, that means that from my beginning point, my rise will be 1, and then my run will be 2. So my new coordinate will go up 1 and over 2, so that my second coordinate will go right there. Then I'm going to go up 1 and over 2 again to make another coordinate. Now I need to decide whether I'm going to connect these coordinates with a solid line or a dashed line. And if I have no equal to sign, it's a dashed line. And in this inequality, we don't have an equal to sign. So I'm going to connect these coordinates with a dashed line, again, because there's no equal to sign there. So you can see I made my pink line go like this. And now I need to decide whether I'm going to shade above or below the line. And if I look at my inequality symbol, you see that this symbol is a greater than. Greater than is up. We think of greater as up, so that means I'm going to shade above the line. And so I'm going to shade above that dotted line, so right here. And so what does it mean to identify a solution to a system of inequalities? Well, the solution to the system of a set of inequalities is going to be this spot right here where you see both the orange and the yellow. So this area here where they overlap, that represents all the possible solutions to this system of inequalities. So one solution per the directions that I could do is this coordinate right here, which is -4, +2. So again, one solution is right there, but I could have chosen any coordinate that falls within that shaded region. I just chose this one because, well, that was just the one that jumped out at me. Just like all the other things we've done, you can also type these inequalities into the Desmos graphing calculator, and you can see that I did it right because the shaded region here where they overlap on the Desmos calculator matches the shaded region from where I graphed it. You can see that the two lines intersect right here at 2, where mine intersect. And you can see that the line hits the y-axis right there at 3, where mine hits right here at 3. So you can still use that Desmos calculator also to check and make sure that you did it right.